we're just going to speak about the concept of energy. We need to know that it's not a literal energy. It is a abstract way of describing the phenomenon of God influencing the creation, or the created beings, meaning us, and nature, and the world, and everything that's happening. Let's first understand that there is no two energies. This is a misconception. There's one energy. There's one light, because there's one source. There's one God. So the DNA of God exists within everything. And what is the DNA of God? It's oneness, it's unity, it's singularity. So everything that's coming from that force has the DNA of oneness. So you cannot say that there's two energies, because the truth is that there is no plurality, there is no multiplicity within the realm of infinity. Only singularity. So there's one energy, but there are two aspects to the energy. There are two faces. Everything in this world has that. Everything has the internal and the external. Everything has the way that it is and the way that it appears to be. But even more than that, everything has its shell and has its essence. So the positive and negative forces are two opposing forces of the same light. The positive is the presence of light. It is the internal. That is the body that exists within the clothing. And then it contains a desire to give, meaning it's a ratzon lehashbia. It desires to bestow part of itself. It's a force that's pushing itself onto others. And it wants to bestow energy onto other vessels. It wants to give. And then the negative aspect of the light is the absence of light. It's the pull. It's a force that's trying to receive fulfillment, like a cup, like an empty cup that's trying to fill itself, and is desiring to receive the fulfillment from anywhere that's willing to give it. That's called ratzon lekabel, the desire to receive. If you have an empty cup, for example, you have an empty vessel, it's lacking something. It has the space to receive. You can't receive anything if you don't have the space for it. So there's some sort of a lack in us because we have the capacity to receive light. The fact that we can connect means that we're not connected, basically. So you can also refer to the positive force by the Hebrew word for light, which is or, and vessel, which is kli. These are the Hebrew terms for vessel and light. Vessel is kli, light is or. Some examples of the positive and negative aspects of the light in physicality would be like in the atom, you have protons and electrons. Electromagnetism, you have the repelling force and the attractive force. You take it even to biology, you have the male organ, which is the internal, it's the positive, and it goes inside of the vessel of the female organ, which is the external, which is the negative, which is also synonymous with the idea of light and vessel, or the water and the cup. It's the internal and the external. So this goes everywhere, even in the femininity and masculinity. Femininity is about being a receiver, we said. Masculinity is about being a giver. There's always two faces to a coin. There's always two sides to a person. There's always two sides to everything. There's always two arguments in a debate. There's always two sides in a game. There's always two parties in a political election. There's always opposition. You can't go up if you're going down on a vertical scale. You can't go left if you're going right on a horizontal scale. You can't be right if you're wrong. Something can't be white if it's black. It can't be hot if it's cold. It can't be good if it's bad. So with these two faces to the energy, there is no alternate option. So we think of duality, not trinity. Why isn't it quadrality? Why isn't it 6 energies? Why is it 2? Why are there only 2? Well, ask yourself the question. Is there any other option? than to go left or right on a horizontal axis? No. Do you have any other options to go up or down on a vertical axis? No. You can either go up or down. It's two directions. Everything has the energy of two. Either the force that goes toward higher or the force that goes toward the lower. However, someone might hear this and say, Nathan, you're completely wrong. You're forgetting about the neutral force. What happened to the balance? We need the balance. We need the peace. Everything beautiful comes in threes. And that's a very, very good observation. I'm not forgetting about the balance. It's just not an energy. It's not an aspect of the energy. Instead, it's a state of the energy. It's a state of balance between the energies. It's the ideal state of being for a person, for a soul. Peace is a result. It's a goal. It's a pursuit, not an aspect of the energy. The nature of femininity is the ratzon lekabel, is the desire to receive. And masculinity is the ratzon lehashpia, is the desire to bestow. So that's why the best relationships are the ones where the male figure is capable of providing that which the female figure desires to receive. But not all the time. Sometimes the female is not a good receiver. Sometimes the female counterpart is not capable of receiving all what the man wants to give. And so that could also be an issue there. But they each contain different levels of giving and receiving. Like the female counterpart might have some giving and the male might have some receiving. They can be there for each other. There's that dynamic though. That's the most important thing, that there is a dynamic there.